what I want to do with this one is, because I know this has the potential to be a lengthy topic. And I know we'll probably have some things in the thread as well. I'm going to toss it around the room. Toss it around us first for everybody to make a quick comment just about it, quick synopsis of what you think about it on the surface. We can go back around and maybe go back and address each other's points. So try to kind of keep it minimum, because I know this one definitely will be able to drag on. So, okay. Lone, I'm coming to you first. What were your overall thoughts on what you saw, just in terms of that overall? We'll call it the experience, whatever that was. How'd you feel about that?
I feel like he's going through. I feel like he's going through some things right now, man. That's the one thing that came to mind. Like, it didn't seem like a man that was in his right mental state. And it's not just based upon just this. It's just kind of like everything in the last handful of weeks, really. And so he went to something that I didn't even know was a thing. His not a press conference, but it was a campaign rally in South Carolina, of all places. And I guess it's because the deadline to register was, I think, today, actually, July 21st. But
it was actually yesterday.
Was it? Okay.
And he didn't even turn the signatures in. Okay,
well, so I don't know. I guess to me, when I saw that, it was just another Kanye stunt. And I honestly kind of reserve not knowing what any of his intents are, just because he's so hard to figure out, like, what's going on there. Like, is it an album rollout? Is it him having a manic episode? Is it is he? I don't know, man. So at this point, I don't even really know if I have a legitimate thought on Kanye outside of he's just doing a whole lot. So,
okay, that's fair. Jay Diff, jump in.
Man, what can I say about brother Kanye? Man, it's rough, man, because to me it just seems like he's constantly unfolding in front of everybody, and I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's stupid. I actually think he's very bright. I just think he doesn't know how to articulate certain things. I know we didn't touch on the Harriet Tubman comment yet, but that, for example, the way he said that is improper and incorrect. He doesn't know how to word certain things. I'll leave it at that for now on that particular subject. But I think it's a combined issues that he's dealing with without taking medication, things that are probably actually going on behind closed doors with his family. Because he went on a Twitter rant as well. He kind of said he's been calling his mother-in-law and Kim told him not to do this, that, and the other. But it could all be a ploy for ratings for that too. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a show that people tune into, so that's going to make that storyline very popular, and people are going to tune in whenever that decides to show. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just think, he's going through some things, man. But there is an album coming out this weekend, so to speak.
I was going to come back to that because you always said, I think it was you, Terry, that said that there's probably part of an album rollout. Somebody said,
you know that's where I'm at.
And then after all this nonsense, we see that Donda's coming out on Friday. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. Like,
that's where I was at.
Yeah.
Hey, Moore, I'm coming to you. I don't want to do Harriet Tubman yet. I want to go to just the overall thoughts of the concept. And we can swing back around and also check into the chat. So jump in. Give me a quick one.
Well, I put this out on Twitter, and I still feel this way. I don't feel sorry for Kanye West. I just don't. Because this is the thing. I full transparency, there's been a certain level of trauma in my life in the last year, and things I've had to deal with in as far as some going through some really dark times. And the thing is, when you are not a person of means, it's sometimes a bit of a struggle for you to seek a certain level of help. You got to come out of pocket, or You know, the resources really aren't there for certain mental health resources. You know, Kanye too, you know, because he seems to like to remind people that he's a billionaire and he's around billionaires, has the ability, if he wants to get the help he needs. And he's been in need of help since his mom died, which I understand, which I do have a level of sympathy there. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, I know other people who've lost, you know, mothers and fathers or grandmothers and grandfathers, and whether it be through some sort of counseling or just being, you know, it's something that everyone has to go through as an adult. Hopefully, you know, the circle of life, unfortunately, is that, you know, your parents are going to go before you go. You know, it really shouldn't be the other way around. And you know, this is something I don't know if he's dealt with. It's hard, but it's like I said, it's hard for me to feel sorry for Kanye West, because just because you decide to have a mental breakdown and it's synthesized through the platform of Twitter, like I'm not going to feel more sorry for you, because honestly, and this goes for everybody who's a celebrity, even not celebrities, the last place you should go for sympathy is social media. And once again, it probably, like anybody who's been listening to our show for a while, I've been hard on Kanye West, but you know, it goes back to when he was out here trying to sell Confederate flag merchandise at his concerts. You know, here's somebody who I feel like
he said he had the right to do that.
He does have the right to do that, but I have the right to criticize someone who is not, who is actively ignorant about what certain symbols and what certain language means. And, you know, if you really want to help Kanye, get him some books, put him on a reading list.
So what you said with the certain symbols and language, hold that thought, because
yeah,
I want to double back on. I want to come back around on that. As for me, I'm not surprised about him running. I'm not surprised about him not running. Not surprised about him running again. Like, everything to me, just my personal opinion, is based off attention. This is someone that has always craved attention. Back when he was in Chicago, he's always been this guy that needs attention. So theatrics, I don't know if I'm necessarily surprised by those. Every time something comes out, Lone alluded to Donda, it always comes in succession. It's sequenced. Everything seems to happen in order. Now, will the album come out? Who knows? It might get pushed back. I don't really know about that. But I'm just not surprised, man. Like, I see people always saying Kanye's fine, man. He's okay. There's nothing wrong with Kanye. He's not crazy. Kanye's fine. And I'm like, the person that I saw at that rally is not fine. There's not someone that's just, you know what I'm saying, like, that's just cool and everything is fine and he's ready to be a presidential candidate. Something is physically wrong with fam.
Physically?
The people that say he's mentally, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing, mentally wrong with him. And when people say, y'all always talk about his mental health, y'all always talk about his mental health. This is the same person that said, I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. That was on an album cover. I'm confused. Like, he's openly said that he takes medicine for being bipolar, but y'all mad at me for saying
that was the name of the album.
Yeah,
the album was called Yay. It was on a cover.
Was it? That's right. That's right.
What I'm saying is, are you mad at me for saying he's acting like he's bipolar? This is open. It's not me throwing that on him. He's acting that way. So,
well, he is that. I mean, he is that, right?
Excuse me. He is. Like, that's just what it is. When people say he's fine, and no, he's not fine. Like, fam has some issues, and that's okay. Like, I hope he gets the help. I think Chappelle went out to check on him. That's cool.
Yep, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I hope fam gets the help, but there is definitely something wrong with dude. Like I said, I haven't been too much energy into it or posting or whatever, because like, we've seen this before. Like, this is not new to me. But I want to double back on the Harriet Tubman point that he made about Harriet Tubman not freeing the slaves, but she just enabled them to work for white people. I talked to Lone on Saturday, and I said, man, I'd be curious to hear what you say about that one. Make it make sense. And I thought about it after that, since I've talked to you, Lone, but going back around again, how did you respond? Like, how did you take that? What were your thoughts on that when you initially heard that?
Well, I mean, we know Kanye, and Kanye has a really poor delivery in a lot of situations, right? We all know that. We've talked about it on the show many times, and you know, like it was very easy. Like when I shared the clip that I shared on YouTube, I didn't want to share just that part of the clip. You know what I mean? Because he did go into some contextual things afterwards. He tried to explain himself. Now, I think it was poorly. It was a dumb thing to say. Let's get that out the way, right? But I think what he really meant was he was talking more so about the fact that we're still battling in this country today. We're still battling racism as we speak right now, right? On multiple levels. And that's, to me, what he was speaking on. You know, I think he was simply just saying Harriet Tubman didn't delete white supremacy. I think that's really all he was saying. Now, he worded it wrong. I think it was in poor taste and everything that he said. I don't think it was the place to say it, but I think that's what he meant by it, personally. So, yeah, that's what I was going to speak on, and that's what I spoke on. So I've spoked.
Thank you for spoke. Appreciate you. Jay Diff, talk to me, man, on Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing I was saying before. He's not articulating his points right, and for some reason he keeps taking jabs at Harriet Tubman. I don't understand how he keeps ending up that way.
It's weird.
You know what I'm saying? It's very weird that he every time he says something sideways, it has something to do with Harriet Tubman. It's almost like she's haunting him in his dreams or something. I don't know. But for him to say that,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Knowing that people take so many things at face value, and how that can be chopped up and how that can be interpreted is just irresponsible, man.
Yeah.
For somebody to you're downplaying something that went on that was right about slavery. Somebody was trying to free and give people rights or whatnot.
She legitimately put her
everybody didn't go work for somebody.
She legitimately put her line on the life, as Kanye says.
Yeah, put her life on the line. You mean?
Well, no, Kanye literally said.
I know what he did. Yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar.
But yeah,
that's a bar.
Yeah. But it doesn't make any sense how he keeps circling back to that. And I get it. I understand that he's trying to make certain points, but he's trying to do it in a very Candace Owens style, where there's always this glitch in the matrix of why would you say some shit like that and then follow it up like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Candace Owens, as much as I hate her, sometimes she makes sense, but a lot of times she doesn't. She's smart as fuck. But Kanye, he can't articulate the same way that a Candace Owens does, so he just comes out looking stupid.
The people were free, I mean, to go quote unquote work for white people, but there weren't a lot of black businesses around, so I'm not sure what they were going to do after Harriet Tubman had done what she had done. So I'm just like, fam. And
nobody got their 40 acres and a mule either. You know what I'm saying? Right. That was promised.
Right. So
I mean, and everybody, and what's weird too is he's speaking like he was there and knows that everybody went to work for somebody. You weren't there. You don't know exactly what happened in those situations.
Yeah, it just speaks to his narcissism, right? Like we've known this. We've talked about it. He's a narcissist, and that's a major issue of all this as well. So
but like what I noticed, and Jay Moore, I'm coming to you. The things that stood out to me is I'm not on the member board for Gap and Adidas. If they don't do that today, I'm walking away. It has nothing to do with running for president. That's selfish. That was me.
Well, he can't even hold those positions if he does get the presidency. So that's what I was speaking on the last time. He can't. You can't be a person like Kanye West and be president of the United States. It would drive him completely nuts. if
That's
he's not
why.
crazy now, him not being able to create the way that he would like to create is going to do something to him.
Yep.
You know?
That is why I've always deemed this as being strategic. Like in the midst of him being who he is, it always comes back around to him. Like the Adidas comment has nothing to do with America prospering. That's about me trying to use my platform to use my leverage in a moment. That's just what it's about. Like that's why I'm not about to argue. Like that's just the way I see it. It is what it is. Jay Moore, jump in on Harriet Tubman and close that out for us, and I'm gonna try to see what we got in the chat in terms of what the people are saying in there.
Well, this is the thing. Okay, I'll give Kanye West that he's been a 5150 and he's had to deal with mental illness, and okay, but you know what? Mental illness doesn't excuse. I'll just go ahead and say it. Your anti-blackness, the things that you've put in the air that have given white supremacist talking points. Your mental illness does not give you the right to be misogynistic. Your mental illness doesn't excuse you being poorly read and poorly informed on the things that should be, if you're trying to be this. Once again, I think I said it last week and I got a little bit of pushback, and that's fine because that's what we're here to do, is to go back and forth with each other. But this is
100%.
somebody who is a brilliant artist as far as music is concerned. This is somebody who depending on what your fashion sense is brilliant with making really expensive tennis shoes and sweatshirts that say Sunday service on them that he sells for $225. I guess that's brilliant, because if you can get somebody to buy these clothes that look like you're homeless for hundreds of dollars and thousands, then I guess that does make you brilliant. But that
were those at the rally?
Yes. He had a merch table where he was selling $225 sweatshirts and $70 t-shirts that looked like they had been spray painted at the mall. But there are people who same people who would probably vote for him, the same people who would buy that merchandise just to say that they have it. But once again, these things don't make you smart. And so that's why I say Kanye West, while being brilliant, is not smart. I would put in and I understand where that sounds, very inflammatory, but I would say the same thing about somebody like Ben Carson. Ben Carson, is a brilliant neurosurgeon, but when I see him on TV, he doesn't come off as being particularly smart, and they can be two different things. This is the problem I have really with, Kanye West and I saw how he treated specifically the black women who were in the crowd. He was very dismissive of them when they would call him out on the things he said were wrong, and then when it was time to actually engage them, he would just walk away. So let's not confuse him being mentally ill with him being a jerk, because they're not tied to each other in the way that you would think, and the way some people were like trying to excuse and find sympathy for the way that he has been acting. So I have, like I said, Kanye West has been a jerk for a long time. He's embraced being a jerk. He said on his first album, that's why me and Dame cool, we assholes. All right. But at the same time, when you're being an asshole or a jerk is also tied into you making statements and with your large platform, because let's not mistake, he's still Kanye West, into doing things that are potentially hurtful to the people that look like you, who don't have as much money as you. That's where I got to call him to the carpet. And that's why I'm so hard on Kanye West, because the things he says are potentially dangerous to, because there's a lot of momentum going on right now as far as making real systemic change. A lot of these things that we see are very much symbolic, but if there are a lot of people out there on the ground and staying on their grind. If this momentum keeps up, like I said, just because you don't see it on your timeline and it's not the main story every night on cable news, there are people still in the streets.
Yo, shouts to Portland, man.
It's
Portland is showing out right now.
to, and right now what Kanye West is doing is antithetical to what is happening to people who are trying to make real change. So, and for when I've actually found out today, he didn't make the ballot in South Carolina, but he did make the ballot in Illinois. That could be very, very dangerous because, like, I'm not on fire for Joe Biden, but at the same time, like, I'm about platforms, not personalities and not people. And we got to,
I'm gonna keep it 100 too.
At this point, we got to get Donald Trump up out of here. It is I'm
gonna keep it 100 with y'all.
What's that?
It's right now. What do we have to lose? Well, there are about 140,000 people dead based on, and that's what we have to lose. And it might hit as high as 200,000 by the fall. So that's
everybody should have common sense right now, regardless of how you view Kanye. I'm a Kanye West fan. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't G for all the shit that he does. If you want somebody to lead this free world as the president of the United States, you would not want it to be somebody like Kanye West.
Not if you don't like Trump.
That's just cut and dry. It has nothing to do with not giving him his peace for what he's accomplished and this, that, and the other. I mean, he's in a position where he can be the voice for anything, and people are going to listen to him.
Yep.
But not necessarily the right people are going to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? They're listening to him based off the fact that if he's president, I might get a pair of Yeezys every month for the whole time he's in office. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that he's talking about doing are things that you would expect a high school student to bring up in that's running for class president. You know, it doesn't sound realistic that if you have a child, you're getting $1 million. You can't just get up there and say stuff like that and think that that's going to fly. And then there's people that believe this shit, though, because people don't understand the way that government works. So they see somebody that does that shit and they want to ride with them. And then when that shit doesn't happen, it's just like, well, I didn't get my free pair of Yeezys for the month, or I just had a baby and where's my $1 million? You know, just dumb shit. But everybody's not intelligent enough to be out here making decisions as far as putting somebody in office if they feel like that's the right way to go. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Like, that's what's scary about it. Illinois scares me. If to Jay Moore's point, I wasn't aware of that. So Illinois scares me because he has a cult following that I could see. Like, I'm actually blown away by the amount of people that I see that just say openly, "Oh, I'd vote for Kanye West," and they mean it. I'm just like, yo, I'm not saying Biden's the coldest. I'm not saying
that'll vote for him.
They will register to vote if they haven't been registered, and will come out and vote for Kanye West on some clown show shit. Like, that right there is scary. The idea, the concept of that is extremely scary, because I can see Illinois easily being a state that would do that just off the strength of who he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's not it, man. That's not it. I always hear people talking about, if you're not going to vote, or if you want to vote, make sure that you're well-versed and knowledgeable about the people that you're voting for. Like, do your research, do your homework, right? Like, if not, you're just going to be doing votes off the strength of Yeezys. That's goofy shit, right? Like, seriously, like, that's where we are in 2020. Like, people will be voting off Yeezys and $1 million, to Terry's point, and that shit's not going to even come to fruition. So
everybody's not getting $1 million. If they can't hand out reparations, what makes you think they about to hand out $1 million to each and every new baby that was born?
If I had to talk that talk emoji, Malone won't let me have yet, I definitely would use that right now. That's a very good point. I'm gonna see if I can. Let's jump in the chat real quick before we swing over to something else. I knew this was gonna run over a little bit. Good comments by everyone, by the way. I respect everybody's opinion. I got the flood. I got the flood 21. Said Kanye, being a high-profile public figure, doesn't need ads to promote his project. After saying George Bush hates black people, he realized that he was in a different lane. Hip-hop artist. I agree with that. He knew he had it after that. My man Poppy Almon, he said Kanye has always been a self-absorbed guy. Just needs attention. all the time. His mom ain't raised him like that. She was good people. He's been so into himself that he doesn't even know who he is. Now, Poppy is a person that actually was in the hip hop scene and was around when Kanye was, just before Kanye was making his break.
Yeah.
If y'all want to do some homework, go look at Payrolls Never Change and then go listen to the Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? They put me onto that when I lived in Chicago. I had never heard that in my life coming from Indiana. So Ill Brown and Poppy, they put me on the Payroll. Messed me up because the hook, the vibe, everything is what Jay did on the Blueprint. So shout out to Payroll, rest in peace. Poppy definitely was around and can speak to, who Kanye was before all this foolishness. Let's see. I think those are the two that stood out for me comment-wise in the chat.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/bringingdowntheband and join our private Discord community with talks on hip-hop, music news, and everything else. Links in the description below.